Hello and welcome to another edition of Yuck, Dumb, Boo, and Bum. And today we have a specialty. We have a very rare game, a game actually that was not released in North America or Asia, which means we really don't know what to expect from it. But hey, let's just hop right into it. Let's see what we've got here with our special game from Beam Software, Aussie Rules Footy. If this is April 1st, then April Fools. If this is not April 1st, then, well, we're already here, so let's give it a shot. Alright, so these are our modes. We've got single match, season, and kick to kick. Kick to kick is basically just practice. A season you can play with one player, 4 players, or 6 players, but oddly, no other option. And you just play through a full season of regular season games until you get to the final. That's obviously way too long, so we're just going to do a single match. So, single match, 1 player, 2 player options. Obviously, we're doing 1 player. Here are your teams. So, a little bit of research shows that at this time, there are only 15 teams in the Australian Rules Football League, the AFL. And some of these aren't actually teams, like Hobart didn't have a team. I don't think Darwin did. And I think the Perth team, there you see the Perth team right here, was actually Western Australia. So let's pick out Geelong, because I know that Geelong's team name are the Cats, and not even any kind of cats, just simply cats. So I like that. I'd like to believe that they're a house cat. Let's be purple, because when else do we get to be purple? And now we have to pick our opponent. Who have I heard of the name of? I think Essendon is the Lions. So let's pick Essendon. And you can pick any of those other colors for Essendon, including purple, which is a really bad choice, because then you really won't know who is who. So, alright, we're gonna make them white. I think that's the easiest way to do it. So just a little bit of basics on Australian Rules Football. It's a lot like rugby, except you're kicking the ball. And that's usually your primary source of moving it from place to place. Obviously, you can tackle people, and you score points. If you kick through the middle 2 uprights, you get 6 points. If you kick through the uprights on either side of the middle one, you get 1 point. And beyond that, I don't really know a ton else about it. So let's get to it. First bounce, so that's their opening sequence. I guess that's like face-off or tip-off as we come into it. The field is kind of like a cricket one, which really doesn't help most of the people watching this, although at least cricket's a little closer to baseball. So here we go. I'm in purple. They bounce it off, and we are underway. So B is the button you press to tackle and to kick the ball. And then when you catch a kick, typically you get the whistle, which is like a free kick kind of a thing, which is good because if your guy jumps in the air, oh, he didn't get it there. That could be beneficial. So a lot of whistles in this, but I think for the actual game, this makes sense. Because if I go up like that and I can get tackled, that's like super dangerous. Although this game's already pretty dangerous. Speaking of which, the A button doesn't do much. I just pressed it there and I actually did something with it. And it catches the ball on defense. And then on offense, it kind of like tosses the ball over. This guy's got like a pretty clear path now. Oh, I think he kicked it through the side one. Yeah. So there's your scorer guy. You'll put the 1 hand up for if they get the 1 point, 2 if you get the 6 points. So when they get the 1, you start your own end like this, and you got to kind of clear it out, which isn't going to work well if I just keep kicking it to the other team. You can't tell where the guys are on your field other than that, and you don't have any control over changing around the players. They got one through the middle. Wow, this is a rough start. We're down 7-0 very early. It's 3-minute quarters, by the way. 4 quarters, as I suppose you would expect if we're calling it quarters. I finally won one of these face-offs. Yeah, you have to press the button, B or A, right as that ball hits the ground, and obviously the direction that you're running to. And then when you get up there, you have to press B or A again at the right time.
Out of bounds, on the full.
So that's when you get it out of bounds. I love that guy up there, by the way. He's got the flat top, which I guess maybe was the style at the time. And on the full, I guess, means like on the goal line-ish.
Out of bounds, on the full.
And as you can tell, it's an Australian game. He's got an Australian accent, which is kind of neat. You don't have to find that in a lot of other games. I like the Australian accent. Oh, I guess we've got a bounce off or whatnot because we're both tackled. He didn't run. Yeah, sometimes they don't react like that. But this is a game. There's a lot of button mashing involved. Oh my God, did I score from all the way up there? Oh my goodness, yeah, that's. We'll show you a little bit on the bar underneath. I don't know if you've noticed that when we've been anywhere close to kicking, but like for points. But I'll try to point that out here as we go along. Yeah, so it's a lot of button mashing, a lot of pressing the button B. Uh-oh, well, that didn't go well. We just gave that back away. Once you're in that close, by the way, and you kick it, it'll automatically go through the middle uprights. But when you're farther out, you've got a little... Ooh, I was way ahead of that guy that time. Let's see if we can show... Yeah, you see the things at the bottom there? Right? So the closer to the middle we get it when we can kick it, and we just got the ball knocked away there, but the closer you can get to the middle when you kick it, the more likely it'll go through the middle uprights. And the closer you are, the slower the thing moves and the bigger it is. See? So nice and big, right through the middle. We only got one? Okay, well, there you go. So yes, one of the best things you can do is just keep kicking the ball back in. That's what I find, is that they keep trying to clear it. I just keep trying to frantically tackle, and then keep kicking the ball back in as many times as you can. And even if you get a bunch of 1 points before the 6 point, it's still going to be worth it for you in the end. Although currently I'm getting 0 points because I keep missing everything. Oh man, I thought I had a kick there. All right, let's see if we can win one of these again. We've actually won 2, which is I think the most I've ever won in a game. And so here's your sideline reporter, I guess, with, it kind of looks like Paul Rudd, but with the mustache, and that hair is really coming out. I think that's like Paul Rudd's Anchorman look, at least the hair. And yes, there's Essendon have dominated the forward. Did I miss an R in forward, or is this like how they spell it there? The forward line during this quarter. Okay, so there's your, I guess, report. They're winning, so they're the ones doing everything right. This is how it usually works with that. But it is actually neat that they've got some different settings for that. Because, you know, a lot of those games at this time didn't have that. They actually have ones, and it does change, right? It's not just, it wouldn't just say an identical thing for me if I was up 13-7 or whatever the score is. So I think that's pretty cool. It's got a handful of different ones. I've played this a few times. And usually it comes up with something different. I don't remember there being one that's been the same, although I haven't paid too much attention to it. So that's, again, a nice, neat little thing that a lot of other games don't have at the time. And I'd love to see, you know, something of that nature in some of the baseball games where it gives you some kind of update on it rather than just, you know, this team won, or actually in the last one we did, and you can check out all my baseball ones. And actually the whole this season and last season underneath, I've got the link to the full seasons down below. And if you subscribe, you'll be able to get notified when these pop up. So I've got all of those. And in those ones, the last game we actually played had a sportscaster and something that was called Biorhythms. And I guess he was reviewing the biorhythms, or I don't know if he was really reviewing them, but there was that guy that was up there, and then they all popped up on the screen one at a time. So I thought that was pretty cool. Weird, but, you know, at least something different.
On the full.
Could have used something like this, though. Oh, I just got knocked over. So you can kick the ball forward so long as you're not facing backwards. So even there, I don't know if you noticed, my guy was sideways. He'll still kick it in the correct direction. Now, you may notice the little arrows, obviously, on top of the players. That's how you know who you are. You don't have control over that. So they will switch it up on their own. So if I want this guy that's a little farther ahead, it just changed it. And unfortunately, sometimes in that situation, I'll be trying to jump with one guy, and another guy 5 feet ahead will jump. And that's the guy I accidentally wound up with. So I'm not even sure if you can hear the button mashing as I do it. But that's a lot of it. It's jumping to catch that ball, and then trying to kick the ball. Oh, I've been
Out of
really
bounds
bad at
on
that.
the full.
Thanks, Flat Top. And sometimes, unfortunately, that B button is not responsive quite when you want it. Like I've caught it, I want to kick it right there in the middle, and then I had to wait till the next time to kick it again in the middle. But hey, we've made it, this should be a 1-point game now. So we're coming back. We're coming back. Don't count out the Cats. Go House Cats. One of the other things is if you wind up, it's very hard to get the ball actually out of bounds in this game, other than the one that's the out of bounds on the full when you're in there. But if you're a little more towards the middle and the ball gets kicked or knocked out of bounds, there's a different kind of like throw-in that's actually similar to a rugby one. There's a lot of similarities to rugby with this other than obviously the kicking aspect, but those are both pretty big sports actually in Australia from what I've been told. Let's see if I can get this guy to, yes, he caught it. Kick for the middle. Did he get the middle? Kind of hard to tell that angle. Yes, he did. We're winning. There you go. I can't wait to see what Paul Rudd with the mustache says now about our team now that we're winning. Okay, we got 6 seconds left in the quarter. Let's try to shut him down. Oh, that's easy enough. So let's see what he says. Geelong have got what it takes to go on and win this match. Darn straight we do, but we're not going to wait that long. We're going to play a little bit of the third quarter, and then I'll show you how we end, because I have played a few games with these two teams, winning and losing, to see how this thing winds up. Now let me see if I can get this ball out of bounds, other than the on the full one. Right now I'm just trying to, did I kick that ball? I guess it must have been me, because that's it. You keep pressing B, so sometimes you're tackling, but if your guy winds up with the ball unexpectedly, you're now kicking the ball, which is not really that different from a lot of the other sports games like that at that time. Yeah, the throw-ins are kind of weird, so I'd love to show that. I guess that's probably how it works in regular Australian rules football. I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen a game on any other system that's Australian rules, which isn't to say that, you know, in Australia that might not be the case.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, so this is our throw-in here. So the guy is literally going to face the other way. Watch this. Now he's throwing it in blindly. We have to jump and do that. Oh, we both missed the ball. but yes, that's how it works. So it's kind of cool like that. Once you catch that ball and they blow that whistle, try to kick that.
On the full.
If they try to get it out, just intercept that pass and keep putting it back in.
On the full.
They said, even though you miss a bunch, even though you get singles a bunch, it does more often than not lead to points. Right, there's another one. So, you also get different graphics if you win or lose at the end of the game. So, let's start off by showing what it looks like when we lose. And there, this is fast forwarding ahead. At no stage in this game did Essendon look like they were losing, although it was a 3-point game, this version of it. So, when we lose, guys look like they've either been, you know, shot or heartbroken. They're standing over there crying. Very muscular, I must say. And take note, right in the center of the screen, of a shadowy figure looming to possibly go and take them away, like this is some kind of ancient Inca game that they've lost and are set to be sacrificed to their Australian gods. The winning one, which you would figure, is a lot more positive. So let's take a look at the winning one, and maybe we'll wrap up on that, because, hey, everybody likes to end on a positive note. So this is when I figured out how to just tackle everybody at every which point in time, and my performance today is classic finalist material. Thank you. I appreciate that. And this is what you get. I wouldn't really call this uplifting music, but maybe in Australia in 1991 it was. My guys who look like, the ones with their arms up kind of have this caveman look. I'm pretty sure the two other guys are identical, by the way, on the sides. The first guy and then the second last guy on the right. And then the two in the middle seem pretty happy. And they've got mullets. At least the one guy looks like he's got a mullet, which is the style at the time. So, I hope you enjoyed this special edition of Yuck, Dumb, Boo, and Bung. And we'll see you back with a baseball game, I swear, next time we're up.